have you ever thought about what Cleopatra might look like in her 70s, or what Mary Magdalene might look like as a grandmother? Our next guest is an artist who's reimagining the worlds of these famous heroines. Please welcome to the studio, Sherry Wiggins.
Yes, Sherry. Thank you so much for being here, Sherry.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
Yes, so let's talk about your art because it puts a fun twist on historical women throughout the ages. Now, right now, we're looking at Eve. What made you choose this way of looking at them?
So, I started this project, it's called the Heroines Project, in 2021, and I started with Eve because, you know, she's supposedly the mother of us all.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah. And I thought she got a wrong, you know, that she is supposed to be the reason that we were all expelled from paradise.
Right.
And I think that's kind of a rotten thing to put upon her. So she was one of my first heroines.
Good for you. Reclaiming that narrative.
Reclaiming her.
Thank you for that.
Now, you're not alone in doing these. First of all, they're fabulous to look at it from a different angle, from a different age. In fact, you're collaborating with a Portuguese photographer, am I right?
Right.
Okay, tell me more about that, and what is the story behind specifically the lions?
Okay, well, Luis Branco and I have been working together on these performative photographs for 9 years now. And the lions, are they up?
They're going to show the lions.
Yeah, so this was from our last photo shoot in Portugal, where I'm portraying the goddess Circe from the Odyssey.
Sure.
And Circe lives on the island of Aia, and she's been banished there, and her companions are these tamed lions and wolves. And so I asked some of my friends to be the lions. And yeah, it was really fun.
Circe's an interesting person to look at, just as a feminist point of view.
Yes.
Too. Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
you know, I heard you mention Portugal, so I have to ask, it seems like you've been all over. You just have such a unique perspective. What is the craziest shoot that you've had?
Well, I think it was Helen of Troy. We were shooting in northern Portugal. This was in 2022, and there was a swimming pool in this building where we were working. And we did a whole photo shoot with me in the pool with Helen's crown and jewels and her gown. And it was freezing cold, and it was, and it was nighttime, and it was our last. I was done. I was freezing cold, and I got out of the pool, and Luis said, "Just one more shot."
It's always that one.
And so I was like, and then later when I saw the image, I thought, this is Helen after Troy.
Yes.
That she would,
there it is. Because she looks exhausted.
Yes, she would look bedraggled, and it's like, you know, I've been through 10 years of the Trojan War, which is supposedly all my fault.
Right.
You know.
It's a bad rap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I love that you have a sense of humor in there, that you have like a sense of reclamation. There's so much more than just looking at the photo.
Well, I agree, and I think part of the humor is that, you know, I'm portraying these heroines who are normally shown as these beautiful women in paintings and throughout time, young women, and I'm a 60-something-year-old white lady, and I think that gives a whole tint to the and humor.
Yeah, and subtext.
And it's serious, too. It's serious and funny.
I feel like you're asking the viewer to look at these heroines that we've always looked at the same way in a totally different light.
Right.
And like maybe we shouldn't have lumped all our problems on Eve. And imagine,
not on women? What do you think?
Imagine what it must have been like for Helen to have, you know, on her conscience that she's launched this war. So it's such an interesting perspective.
Well, it's also the idea that America is obsessed with youth.
Yes.
And your work is proudly displaying why it's displaying your age is why it's so important for you to challenge ageism.
And I think that's a real key component of the work. That I think older women are also often feel invisible, and I think the pictures, you know, what I'm imparting is that older women can be beautiful, can be sexy, can be funny, can be powerful, and not you know, power isn't a threatening thing.
Yes.
And I think when viewers see the work, they relate to it because I could be their grandmother or their mother or their sister or their lover or their friend, and this connects me with the audience. And,
Powerful.
Yeah.
Kudos to you.
A lot of revenge fantasies too. I love it.
Yep.
Love it.
Sherry, thank you so much for joining us today. DBL Nation, you can learn more about Sherry's adventures and artwork on her website, sherrywiggins.com. Thank you again. Congratulations.
Great work. Great work.
We'll be right back.
Absolutely.